Hi, I'm David from londonsafes.co.uk. Please subscribe. There's a button on the right hand corner if you find this interesting. Thank you. You may have come across this video from another video that we did recently called Best Safe for Home, where we talk about this Bloomsbury range of safes that we have. I'll link to that now in the top right hand corner. In this particular video, we're going to be taking a look at the size 4. And this is the size 4. I've labelled them with some magnetic labels, and above it is the size 1, and I'll put a link to the size 1 video now in the top right. And to the left we have the size 2 that's sitting on top of the size 3. Link to the size 2 video is at the top right now. And here's the size 3, and there should be a link to that in the top right hand corner if I've done everything right with the links. Here's another angle for perspective to try and gauge the difference in size between the units. So the external dimensions of the size 4, it's 490 millimeters high by 430 millimeters wide, and its depth is 400 millimeters. All steel construction, and this unit weighs in at 62 kilograms. The whole range are supplied in this darkish blue color. On occasion they come through to us from the factory in a darker black color. I'm afraid there is no choice. When you're placing your order, you may get the dark blue, you may get the dark black. We can't really control that, I'm afraid. So this range is available in a simple key locking system, or like this with the digital electronic membrane type keypad. However, this safe is a hybrid safe, and I'm going to explain more about that as we delve into the features of the safe. So how do you use the safe routinely? Just to open it and close it. So it's a 6-digit code, it's battery operated. We're going to go into all of that shortly. You will need to turn the safe on, and that's one click, then enter your 6 digits. The default code is 6 zeros. You'll set your own code, and then when I press that E for enter, we'll see the OK light come on, and then I have a very short period, about 3 or 4 seconds, to turn that knob, and you heard that little click. If I don't turn the knob before the OK light goes out, and I have turned it, but you'll see the OK light goes out, the safe would have locked itself again. You'll have to go through that process again, and then we just need to pull the door, and we've opened the safe. Although it's a very heavy steel door, it's very well balanced, so it doesn't take much effort, as you can see, to open and close it. So you finish with the safe and you close it. You're just going to shut the door and turn the knob, and that is now shut, and it won't reopen. So I'm looking through the viewfinder, so I'm struggling to see where my fingers are. The doors of these Bloomsbury range are all made from one solid piece of 10mm steel. I just open the door up so you can see that's the thickness of the door, the outer skin of the door. Of course, you've got all of this area as well, and it's all cut from one slab of 10mm steel. That's the inner part there, and you'll see that chamfer on the edge of the door. As I shut the door, it means that the door can shut completely flush. And the door's cut with a laser that cuts this out, and it's such a fine cut that you can barely get anything into that gap. I can't even get my fingernail in there, and that means the burglar can't get any tooling in there, like a chisel or a screwdriver or a crowbar, to try and lever the door open. So that means it's more secure for you. The vulnerable components of the lock area behind here are protected by our anti-drill manganese steel plate, and as I turn the knob, I'm turning it with one hand, you can see the bolts are moving. I've just shot them all out. So on this size 4, you've got 2 bolts on the top, you've got your 3 bolts on the side, and you've got an additional 2 on the bottom, and they're free rotating chromium bolts. That means that they turn freely, and the idea is if someone's trying to get a hacksaw into the gap to try and cut the bolt, it'll rotate and it won't bite, the hacksaw won't bite. The electronics of the keypad are battery operated, and the batteries live inside, and that's a little door there. I'll just back away. So in there you've got 4 AA batteries. We use the industrial type cells, but you can use ordinary AA batteries, Duracell, that you can get anywhere, Boots, Robert Dyer, Sainsbury's, anywhere. Over here we've got the reprogramming button, which has got a safety cover on it. I'll just slide that across, That reveals the button. That's for setting your own code, but it's got this little protective cover so that you don't inadvertently press it. If you do make an error entering the code, you'll see that the error light will come on. You can only do that a couple of times before it starts thinking that you're trying to hack it. So it will start locking you out for a period of time. I think it's 15 minutes. I can't quite remember without checking. All the safes are different, but it will lock you out for a short period, then give you another chance to enter the code. If it's still wrong, lock you out, and you'll go on like that until you get the code right. And this other light that we've got here is battery, and it is a battery operated safe, as I said. And if the battery should go flat, and it's a very good question, what happens? Well, with this particular safe, there's two ways for you to get into the safe as the legitimate owner of the safe. And let's look at the first. Incidentally, the battery light will illuminate when you're entering the code in your normal way, and if the batteries are getting a bit weak, you'll get that little light glowing to warn you that's the time to change the batteries. And we do have people that have kept these without changing the batteries for a long period, 10 or more years, and then they call us and say the safe won't work because they haven't changed the battery. We don't advise that. We advise changing the batteries annually, maybe on the anniversary of the purchase date of the safe. But let's presume you've come to the safe and the battery's stone cold flat, and it won't. You're pressing these buttons, nothing's beeping, nothing's lighting up, you can't open it. Well, you'll see here that we've got these little metal terminals with a plus and a minus on them, and they correspond with the plus and the minus on a regular 9-volt battery. This is the type of battery that goes in a smoke alarm, and you'll see it's got a big side and a small side. And it's simply a case of, I can't do it because I'm holding the camera in one hand, but with your one hand, you're going to press that against there, so you're now providing power to the circuitry, and then with your other hand, you just tap your code in. You still need your code. You won't get in without a code, even though the battery's flat. You tap your code in, safe will open, and then you can go in and change the batteries. And the second way that you can open the safe as the legitimate owner of the safe in the event of a flat battery, and also critically in the event of a forgotten code. So if you did forget your code and you can't remember it and you can't get into the safe, with this particular safe you can still get in, and that's because the manufacturer provides you with keys, and these are proper keys. These are proper double-bitted high security safe keys, not locker keys like you get with cheap safes. These are the real deal. And the keyhole is hidden behind this little E for emergency. And that just peels off, and that's come off there. It's double-sided tape. It's not double-sided, sticky back tape there. And that reveals the keyhole where those keys go. And the manufacturer actually give you some spare self-adhesive E's to cover it in case you do have to use it. I've inserted the key into the lock, and let's imagine that the battery's completely flat. It was all dead. The safe won't open, that's not moving. And we simply turn our key once and a bit more until it's in that position, and now the safe's open. And you've bypassed all the electronics with that key. And then if you have forgotten the code, you can now hit your reset button, follow the instructions that we give you, and put a new code in, or put the old code back in if you want to, if you suddenly remember it. And here is the batteries if you need to change the batteries, because that's why you opened it, they were flat. So I'm going to circle back to why I mentioned the hybrid safe element of this. So as I said, the safes come in this digital version or the simple key locking version, which simply just got a keyhole in the middle, same type of keys, but no electronics at all. And you might be undecided whether you want electronic, whether you want a key operated safe. Or with this particular safe, you've got both. You can choose to use it with a keypad, as I've demonstrated, or you can choose to never touch the keypad and just use keys and have it as a key locking safe. And that's the hybrid element of it. Okay, so time to look at the inside of the safe. And if you've looked at any of the other videos, and especially the video that is entitled Best Safe for Home, you'll know that I am very, very keen on the fact that these safes, like very few others, if any that I can think of, have got 4 fixing holes in the rear. And also, I won't lift it out, but under the carpet there are also 4 fixing holes, which enables us to fix these safes into your building extremely robustly. I mean, not only is it already a heavy, well-made safe, but we can fix it so much better than if it had 1 hole or 2 holes. And so that really is a huge advantage of these Bloomsburys, and for that reason alone I recommend them, let alone all the other reasons like the emergency keys and the laser cut door, etc. So you have got a nice protective carpet on the bottom. You've got a shelf in here, and the shelf isn't multi-positionable, but it is removable. So I'll just take it out. So I've removed the safe, and there it is sitting there. It comes out very easily. It just sits on these little brackets. There's one on each side there. It's really easy to take it in and out. One thing that I didn't mention was the way that they're made, these safes, is that obviously they're made from pieces of steel that are very, very cleverly welded together, and then all the welds are rounded off and ground away to give you this attractive and seamless finish. Something that a lot of manufacturers really should be looking at. So it's a modern looking thing. It's not an ugly rectangular box, you know, it's a bit more modern looking. Well, I think so anyway. So back to the inside. So obviously A4 paper, you're going to have no problem at all. It's going to take A4 paper. There's a piece in there. That's a couple of folders. So the light blue one is a foolscap folder, and the one on top is a A4 folder. So I've just put a couple in the top there, but if you took the shelf out, then you could have, you could have several going along this way. But if you wanted to put some on the top or on the bottom and then still have the other half of the safe usable, you can. That's my old battered Toshiba laptop in there, and it's quite a big laptop. It's a widescreen version, and it fits in there no problem. So I just measured it to give you an idea. So from the longest side is 380 millimeters, and then the shorter side is 260, and I can even get that up top, no problem. So, and we've sold a number of these for offices, for laptops, hard drives, things like that. I neglected to mention the insurance rating. So these are certified and tested safes. They're certified to EN 14450 S2 resistance grade by the Test House ICIM. And that means for your insurance purposes, they're suitable and automatically approved for up to £4,000 in cash, or up to £40,000 in your valuables, jewellery, electronics, etc. And if we're fortunate enough to win your business and you are buying one of these safes, or more, the more the merrier, we do offer you, once you've added it to the cart, a list of accessories that you can buy to go with your new safe. And I'm going to cut shortly to a clip that I recorded another day, some time ago. So it's not going to seem quite in sequence, but it does run through all the accessories, and it is relevant. So you can see that now. So hopefully you're going to buy a safe from us, and we're going to come and install it for you. So during the checkout process, if you are doing that, and thank you if you are, there's a number of accessories that you can purchase. So the first one is a automatic light, battery operated, 3 AAA cells, and it's got a little movement sensor, and that pops onto the underside of the top of the safe, and as you open the safe, the light comes on, illuminates the contents. Very useful for dark cupboards or wardrobes, things like that, so you can see what's going on in there. Then we have this, which is a flame retardant wallet, so you can put your A4 documents and bits and pieces in there for extra fire protection. We have a carpet base if you want a carpet in the bottom of your safe. As you see, they don't come with one. If you want one, then that's an optional extra. This is a pair of Faraday pouches for putting car keys in. Key cloning, theft of cars is very, very common now. You put your keys in here, and the people with the dodgy equipment can't pick up the signal in the house to take your car away. And finally, we have this dehumidifier box, which you can put inside the safe. It's reusable. You can dry it out on a radiator, absorbs moisture, protects things from condensation, because you can get condensation form inside a big steel box like that. Also useful for keeping firearms dry as well, and these are all recommended accessories for your safe that are available at checkout. And so a word about us. I did say we're London and home county safes on londonsafes.co.uk, and what we do is we deliver and we install this professionally for you, and there's nothing else to pay. So it's free delivery, free installation, and it's a certified installation service, which means we issue you with a certificate that states what you've bought and how it was installed. It's like a method statement that you can show to your insurance company should you need to. We arrive in an unmarked van. It'll be a vetted employee. We don't use subcontractors like lots of the online safe retailers. We're not online safe retailers. We're guys that supply and install safes and have for many, many years, and we happen to have a website rather than being internet entrepreneurs that, you know, also sell mobile phones and washing machines. Safes are what we do, what we understand. Any questions, please get in touch. It's londonsafes.co.uk. Give us a call, 0208 445 0001. There's also a free phone number, but check your contract to see whether or not that's going to give you a free call. It should do from a landline and some mobiles, or most mobiles. If you're shy and you don't want to talk on the phone, please, even if you think your questions are very naive, or you're an expert, either way, please give us a call or start a chat. We have 2 chat services on the website. You can chat from a PC, you can chat from Messenger or from WhatsApp. And thank you very much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you soon.